News.
Breaking news in Boston overnight.
If you do not immediately and peacefully disperse, you will be arrested.
Police follow through with a warning at the Occupy Boston protest, arresting about 100 demonstrators. Those protesters were asked to move after expanding their camp across the street from Dewey Square Park on the Greenway. Police gave them until midnight to leave on their own.
And when the protesters did not comply, officers went in and moved them out. 7's Steve Cooper is live on the scene where it's much quieter now. Steve?
A lot more quieter here this morning. In fact, Boston police have reopened the roads around the Rose Kennedy Greenway. You can see they have these barricades set up. That's because the protesters have come and gone. And as you mentioned, many were arrested overnight and are headed to court.
If you do not immediately and peacefully disperse, you will be arrested.
Police issuing that final warning to hundreds of Occupy Boston protesters who had assembled with tents in tow on the Rose Kennedy Greenway overnight, refusing to leave. And that's when the department's tactical unit moved into place, arresting those who wouldn't leave.
We had a great relationship for about 10 days, but this last 24 hours have been tough. A group of anarchists have started to run the agenda, and they weren't listening to us or working with us.
But between the pushing and the shoving, some protesters say police went too far.
We got broken into by a bunch of thugs wearing badges, and some of us got knocked down. They trashed our flags.
And to do this in the middle of the night is brutality.
My name is John Brandon Wood.
One by one, protesters were handcuffed and taken from the scene.
I think it's pretty clear that, given the march that we had today, that the whole world is watching the Boston police right now.
The bottom line is we had to restore order in this park, and we've done that.
All right, police are allowing those protesters with their tent city to remain in Dewey Square, but for how long is another question. Boston police say they will evaluate that later today. As for those arrested, well, they'll all be facing a judge at Boston Municipal Court a little bit later on this morning. We're live in Boston this morning. Steve Cooper, 7 News Today in New England.